my gorgeous ones, welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. I love affordable beauty and fashion here on my channel. I look like a sparky disco ball right now because I decided to recreate my look from New Year's Eve. And this is the gorgeous, except right now I have a friendly zit that was not there on New Year's Eve. I didn't have time to really capture it that day because I got it done when it was kind of dark. So I decided to redo it and it's so pretty. Thought I would just show you guys what I used real quick. I used the Rephr Beauty Eternal Eclipse palette. This is my favorite cool toned color story that I own. It is perfect for date nights. If you want a smoky eye look, it also has neutrals in here as well. So if you're ever on a hunt for like a smoky palette, a sultry palette that's very wearable, this is my absolute favorite. But the star of the show, these gorgeous, sparkly, shimmery, that is from the Minka palette from Adept. This was one of my favorite palettes from 2022. I had it in my ranking video of favorite palettes from last year. And I was like, this is going to be my New Year's Eve palette. Like it screams New Year's Eve and it is just like, it just keeps blowing me away. It is so pretty. So what am I talking about today though on this video? This is going to be all of the brands that I would like to try in 2023. Now, last year at the end of, or the beginning of the year, I did all the brands I tried in 2021. And I should have done that for this year too, because I tried a lot of brands for the first time. Amazing brands like Adept that became my favorite in 2022. But I'm trying to be mindful about the makeup that I purchased in 2023. I've been on a no-buy palette, which I've cheated on a little bit, but I've been much, much better the past 3 months, 3 months. And going into 2023, I want to only purchase palettes specifically from brands that I collect. Like it would be Nomad, but I do get Nomad PR. If I did not, I would collect them. I collect Lunar Beauty palettes. I collect Pat McGrath motherships. And then I've also added Adept to that. And I have a few other brands that I'm thinking about adding to that as well, like Sydney Grace. So then I also want to only purchase palettes from brands that are on the list that I'm about to give you guys of brands that I would like to try in 2023. And then there's a couple of skincare brands in there, hair brands, not very many because I'm pretty set on those, but there's a few I'd like to try. So maybe this video will also open your mind up to brands that you want to try in 2023. Maybe you've never heard of these. Maybe it'll also help you figure out how to do your spending this year, like keep it maybe to like the brands that just intrigue you and that, and leave the ones that are kind of mediocre, leave them in 2022. So if you'd like to see my list of all the brands that I want to try in beauty wise in 2023, my Tweety, what is going on? Keep on watching. Okay, you guys, it would probably not surprise you that the majority of these are going to be indie brands because that is where my heart is. That is where the performance and the quality is. And I do say quality because many of these brands either make these by hand or they have gone into the labs and special formulated, hands-on, worked with the lab on their own special formula. It's not just like picked out of a catalog or, like private label where 100 brands have the exact same formula and just stick their label on it. Like these are quality because they've really tested them out. They've trialed and error or they make them themselves. And that's why they tend to be a lot better than your mainstream, your mass produced. And that's also why they tend to be a little expensive sometimes. Not too expensive, but a lot of times cheaper than, like your Pat McGrath or your Natasha Denona. But they will be more expensive than drugstore, of course, or like a ColourPop. So that is where my heart is. That's where a lot of these brands will be. So let's just start in with Sugar Drizzle. Now, Sugar Drizzle was actually on my list last year, and I don't know what happened. I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger because all the palettes look amazing. Everyone that I know that is a Sugar Drizzle fan they're fans of other brands that I really enjoy myself. I trust a lot of these people's opinions. So I don't know what kept me from buying last year, but this year I'm definitely going to try Sugar Drizzle out. They have really cute packaging, animal packaging. The color stories are really fun. I think I'm looking for that perfect color story for them though. I think I've got lots of colorful palettes now, so maybe I'm looking for something just really unique that really calls to me, but I definitely want to try them. Then we also have Fanatasy Cosmetics. This one blew up about mid-year, I want to say. There were 3 palettes that came out, and I think the Sorcery palette is the one that I really, really wanted, but I had tried to slow down on my spending on makeup at that time. And again, people that I know that have similar taste to me in formula and indie brands rave about their formula. And I think the brand owner is a young, makeup connoisseur like I am. I think she's younger than me. So I think it would be cool to support her as well. So that is definitely on my list. Bella Beaute Bar. Now, oh my gosh, the Strange and Unusual palette. Like, I cannot believe I didn't buy that palette. It is me in a palette. I love spooky season. I love Beetlejuice. I loved the color story. I love like a dark, like vampy glam. Like everything was in that palette. I had just said I was going on a palette no buy when that came out. And I knew I was getting the Spooked palette from Gourmand Girls. And I just was like, do I need another spooky season palette? So I passed on it. And it is one of my biggest regrets that I did not purchase from 2022. So they are so high up on my list. The other palettes that have come out look amazing. They get rave reviews. So I'm trying them for sure. Then we have Queen's Cosmetics. Now, if you're on TikTok at all, Queen's Cosmetics went viral from a lot of big creators doing the black base and then the Queen's Cosmetics sparkly lip gloss lacquer on top. Went huge, went viral. Then she came out with a palette around the holidays as well that got a little bit of buzz, but not huge, not like the lips. Well, I decided to do a little digging and research on the brand owner, and oh my gosh, this girl, the stuff she's been through, she's only like 21, 22. She was paralyzed from she was paralyzed from a road rage incident where she was with a boyfriend, I believe, and got shot at, paralyzed. She was 19 years old. I think it happened right before COVID. Then she was kind of depressed during COVID, and she loves makeup, and she started with like $400 that was loaned from her dad to create some lip products, just kind of a niche. Like she wanted to formulate what she was looking for, send it out on a whim to some of these big creators, blew up, and now she has like 1 million followers or more on TikTok. And I just thought that story was so inspiring. And she is also a Latina owned brand, which I always like to support because my husband is Mexican. So, I mean, that is so high up. I will be trying Queen's Cosmetics, and go look into it. Like, she's beautiful, inspiring, so high up on my list to try. Then we have Ensleyreign Cosmetics. This one is very new to me. I've seen some people that I, again, really like and admire and trust review and do some beautiful looks. Very pricey though, I'll say. The newest palette that came out, I believe, was $80-something, something like that. That's super high. It is indie. It is cheaper than like Pat McGrath, but I always get Pat McGrath as cheap as I possibly can. I wait for sales. I wait for Rakuten to get 10% back. So it's hard to stomach spending $80 on a palette, but I'm going to keep my eye on that brand because I've heard amazing things. Then I've had Glaminatrix on here, and I actually did buy the neutral palette that looks like the most gorgeous neutral glam palette I've ever seen. So pretty. I ordered it when I wrote this list, even though I'm supposed to be on a no buy, but she was having a 20% off or 30% off. It's an Australian owned brand, doesn't have sales very often. And I was like, you know what? That's the palette that I've been wanting to try. It's a palette I could use for years because of the color story. So That one doesn't ship out until February though. It is a pre-order and I will technically be trying it in 2023. Then we have Electrum Cosmetics. This is another one that's really new to me. And I have a friend that features a lot of her products on their Instagram. And then I also was watching another video recently kind of raving about her, the owner of Electrum Cosmetics, and how she hand makes everything. She has a full-time job and still hand presses every single shadow, makes them. And that just is so cool to me. I've heard amazing things about the formula. So I want to support a woman like that that's working that hard, and the stuff just looks absolutely gorgeous. Next, we have Kulfi. So Kulfi showed up in Sephora this past year, and I've heard that concealer is the best concealer. So many people had it on their list as the best, but I think a lot of people also have never heard the brand and never tried it. So I would love to try it myself, review it for you guys. I believe there's foundation too. Maybe I'll buy a couple of their products to test out. Maybe I'll do it on my channel. You guys let me know if you're interested, but that one definitely piqued my interest. Then we have, these are not your indie brands. We have Hourglass. Now, I've had zero interest in trying Hourglass until recently, only because I want to try the foundation. That's the only reason. A lot of people have it as their best, their holy grail. And I've loved trying foundations in 2022. The House Labs foundation I fell in love with. The Sephora collection for Best Skin Ever. Loved that. Today I'm wearing the Kimchi Beauty, a really good foundation is what it's called. Love it. So I think I want to try that Hourglass foundation, and that's really all I want to try from them. It's just that, but I went ahead and put it on the list. Merit is one that went crazy with PR. Like, so many people were featuring it. They never reached out to me, which is fine. Like, sometimes I'd rather just buy it and try it on my own so that people don't think I'm only saying it's good because I got it in PR. That is not me. If you've seen some of my things I've said about Patrick Ta, you know I will tell the truth, even if it came in PR. So Merit is one, though. I want to try that serum facial oil that came out. I love glowing skin. I'm almost 40. In the summer, I'll turn 40. I like a glow. I like hydration. And a lot of people said that serum was pretty amazing. So that really piqued my interest. And then I might try, their bronzer stick and their blushes, lipsticks while I'm at it. Then we have Rose Ink. And I don't know, it's very basic. It's not my typical, it's kind of Jones Road type of looking brand where it's nothing flashy, but there's just something about those blushes, the cream blushes, that I've been dying to try. I've heard amazing things as well, so I went ahead and put them on my list. I'd also like to try, when it comes to makeup brushes, Rephr. Rephr is the ultimate. That's what I know, like Tati uses. All your big all your big YouTube people, like, they love Rephr. It's when they reference, like, I'm using a Rephr number, whatever. I'm really sad that I did not buy from the Black Friday sale, because I think they did 50% off, and they're still expensive 50% off, but that's a lot better than full price. So I'm planning on probably waiting till Black Friday in 2023. If you want to try them too, wait till then, because maybe they'll have that 50% off sale again. But I'm not going to miss it this time. And then Blinged Brushes. Those brushes are so pretty. Like, it's like this, but on a brush. They're just so pretty. I've heard they're good quality as well. They do collabs with some creators that aren't like huge, like Allie Dawson. And I think they're really pretty. So I'd like to try those out. Then we have skincare. I only have 2 on here, I believe. Yes. Paula's Choice. That's one I wanted to try for probably 5 years. I actually had an Instagram and a blog, like a website blog, almost 5 years ago. And my Instagram was more heavily fashion back then, and my blog was too. I quit it all for years. My kids were too young. It was too difficult. But I remember there was a girl I was following. I was not into skincare back then. And she was the only skincare account I followed, and she was a die-hard Paula's Choice fanatic, and it's always stuck in my mind, that brand. Not super cheap, but I have fallen in love with so much skincare, like in the last 2 years. Last year, I mean, it was Elemis is like my favorite, CosRX. I love Glow Recipe. I love, who else do I love? Kiesel Care, and I like some Good Molecules, but I've kind of grown to like a little bit more higher end skincare. Paula's Choice, always wanted to try it. I hear amazing things. That and Farmacy. Farmacy has been on my list. I know they do a lot of PR as well. I don't get them in PR. I just heard amazing things about their cleansing balm, their serum, their eye cream. It's really cute packaging, so that's definitely on my list. Now, the last two are hair. I am so dang lazy with my hair. You guys, I wash it once a week. Sometimes I will blow dry it. Sometimes I put it wet in a low bun and then let it down and it's wavy. That's all I do. So you will probably never see me do much like styling, curling, any of that. But I want to try Eva NYC's dry shampoo. I have a friend I follow she owns a hair salon. Been doing it for like 30 years, I think, something like that. Maybe not, maybe like 20. I don't want to make her that old. But she has tried everything under the sun, and that was her favorite hair product from 2022 was the Eva NYC dry shampoo. As someone who washes my hair once a week, dry shampoo, yes, please. So that's why that's on my list. But I hear that there's other good products besides that. The other one is the Wow Hair, and I've heard so many amazing things about that one as well, like a texturizing spray, which I'm not really like, I don't put anything in my hair, but maybe I could do that. I've heard their shampoo's good, dry shampoo as well. So I went ahead and put that one on my list because I was like, Alicia, you need to try some hair stuff, you know, like do a little bit with your hair. But that is it, you guys. I mean, that is really my list. I know there's so many brands out there. There's so much to choose from. Like I was looking through on Sephora, and I mean, most of it I have tried at least one thing. So I really chose brands I've never tried one single thing from. And I mean, indie brands, there's so many now too. I had to narrow it down because this is going to be my guide. If it's not on this list, if it's not a brand that I'm collecting as a chosen brand, or just something that blows my socks off, then I'm not buying a palette anyway. I may grab mascaras here and there. Like if Milani comes out with something, you know, who else have I been buying so much? Like I love Rephr Cosmetics. Like I'll try new stuff from them, you know, this year. But I'm going to try to just, especially palettes, be more mindful and stick to this list. And I hope this also introduced new brands to you guys. Let me know brands that maybe you want to try in 2023. And that's it, you guys. Let's be a little bit more mindful about our spending, or go crazy, whatever you want to do in 2023. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.